Today in the dream spell, we have the energy of the rhythmic world bridger. The world bridger is signifying death, for example. That's just one of the keywords of this archetype. And rhythmic is about equality and balance. And there is this force that is being presented to us right now, this force of balance and allowing things to be balanced out by death. So waking up in this energy, I felt the dread, I felt the heaviness, the tiredness of being again pushed into the fires of dissolution and disintegration. And I know that we've been here for a while. This whole year, the year of shedding, number 9, it can get tiring. And there is a specific feeling of giving up. Like, why do I have to go through the same cycles? So I pulled a few cards for myself. And the first one, death. The second one was from an oracle deck, and it's about cutting ties and letting go. So what I usually do and what I invite everyone that I work with is to go in silence, especially when we are confronted with the stage of the Negretto. And it's not that, the stages of the alchemical process happen in a linear manner, but you can see, if you go into the space of silence on a regular basis, you can awaken the seer within. And you can recognize the patterns that are keeping you trapped into specific behaviors, into specific thoughts. And this is exactly what we want to do, is to come into that space of what I call smiling awareness, where you not only activate the seer and recognize that this archetype is here to support us in releasing the false self, in integrating the parts, the protectors and the firefighters that have been preventing us or keeping us away from integrating that true self. And so this is what the Jinkies are talking about right now. If you look up in human design, the sun is transiting Jinki 11, and this sits in my SQ. So if you don't have your whole genetic profile, I'm inviting you to go on the website and give it a shot. Check out your free profile. You can send me a message afterwards if you need any help. However, Jinkies has an awesome repertoire, and it's very beautiful how they share about the Jinkies on the free profile. So, and for many people that is enough. The problem, I would say, is when you start going deeper and deeper into the shadow. So you allow the process to take place, the process of death, of dissolution. So you allow it so much that you get to see the archetypes, the unconscious archetypes behind the shadow, behind this collective construct, which is called the ego or the separate self. So this is the thing, like if you go deeper and deeper, you meet those archetypes. And this is the realm of the 11th Jinki, is not only meeting them, but then integrating them back into your being, recognizing that the archetype that you avoid, that you fear, you deny, you avoid, right? That's exactly the archetype that will follow you until the end, right? And for the shadow of the 11th Jinki, we talk about obscurity and this idea of sight, like seeing and not seeing, right? And the whole realm of trusting the unseen. And so I feel that this is resonating with a lot of people right now because there is this essence that we are getting closer and closer. Many of us are getting closer to the unseen, to working with the mystery and to trusting the mystery instead of denying, suppressing, resisting the visions or the images that come from the unconscious. We start working with it. And so that's where I feel that we are right now in this collective phase. The problem is that with this shadow of obscurity, especially if you have it in your profile, and right now the sun for the next 4 days is transiting this Jinki, so it might be more, you become more aware of it. But if you also do have it in your hologenetic profile, this idea of seeing reality through a very narrow lens, you recognize that it's not helping you, that it has been holding you back from releasing your dreams out into the world. Because this is also the realm of the 11th Jinki, this shadow of fantasy or delusion. And so you're either fantasizing and being stuck in fantasy, which is nothing wrong. I love that. Being stuck in a realm of potentiality, right? It's also the realm of just being in silence, for example, all the time without taking action on whatever you receive from spirit. Or if, for example, you have a lot of frustration, anger that you have suppressed, you might go into the realm of delusion. And so with delusion is that you try so hard to make your dreams come true, to put them out there. So there is a lot of force involved in making your dreams come true. But the thing is, the dream that you think you have is just a facet of the real dream that hides beneath. And this dream that hides beneath is protected by the big dragons, by the red dragon. We are still in the dragon wave spell. And so to access that real dream requires us to go through many deaths, a lot of dissolution. And so this dissolution process, this the Negredo phase, the dark night of the ego, being in that space is actually one of the most beautiful things that can happen to you. And I'm saying that because in the last 3-4 years, I've been there many times. Obviously, as we go through on a spiritual awakening, every time I find myself in those spaces, I recognize that that there is this golden shadow that everybody's talking about, this golden shadow. It just feels to me that every time I'm allowing the process to happen and I'm getting so much more comfortable with it, that I grab it. I manage to grab this golden shadow, the golden egg, and place it inside of my heart. And I used to, because, right, I am working with archetypes and with the collective unconscious. So I see the individuation process that is happening. I see what is happening and I managed to step back. So what I'm inviting you as well is to also take a step back. And instead of trying to fix, trying to heal yourself, to activate that light body, to manage everything, not only in your 3D, but also when it comes to your spiritual journey. So by micromanaging, by trying to control so many aspects of this process, you are placing those blockages so that life is actually not able to flow through. Light cannot fully shine on you if you have an idea from the mind of how this process should happen. And so that's what we do in silence. And I'm inviting you to join me in silence as well. And I will put a link into the description where you can do that, so that we meet together and we can actually integrate. Not only, yes, we see the shadow of the 11th Jinki, but also recognize the gift that can awaken when we embrace the parts instead of fighting, instead of resisting. And we also are able to rest in the Siddhic state, right? Which is difficult to do, right? This resting in silence is difficult to do for the human mind, because it needs to allow, it needs to acknowledge, to surrender. But this is what we came here to do. This is what we came here to be. We came here to be that. And so there's a lot to be said about also the programming partner, the 12th Jinki, the Jinki of vanity, the Jinki of the pure heart, of a pure heart, and how to be in that space of purity without the shadow of vanity. There's a lot that is happening right now, especially moving towards the end of the year. And I believe that we are being given codes and frameworks and support so that we can come back to that space of smiling awareness. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful when you recognize that there is so much happening, that there is so much wisdom that is coming through, that there's so much movement, so much noise, so much evolution of consciousness. And you can almost, if you get into that space, you can almost perceive and see, right? This is all the realm of the 11 Jinki, is the sight. You can see and anticipate next year and 2027. And you can anticipate this big grand portal that we find ourselves in. It's the most beautiful time to allow silence to teach you. Not your mind, not what you think, like, oh, if I'm doing that course, that if I'm reading those 2 books, or booking that astrology reading, or whatever, instead, or next to all that, how can you cultivate your relationship to that sacred silence and solitude? And with the peace of solitude, organizing this weekend retreats, and this retreats like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, where I guide you based on your charts, based on your patterns, through a liberation experience, are a really good way for you to move into the next year. And there's a lot that I can share, but I'm inviting you again to just give this 11th Jinki, the realm of light, give it space to penetrate your being, your body, and come join us at the link below. So thank you.